Rails games always have good music.
Get to work! Let's finish the job! Too slow!
A chance!
Oh, she had a free heart and I just
Ben!
completely ignored that.
There we go!
Make it count, Aaron!
Here's a little more.
Chance!
Here's a little more.
Nice! That went great.
You're a true professional, Van.
The observatory is on the left side of the campus.
Got it. Then we'll cut through the building and get there ASAP.
Door's locked. I was thinking on my face.
This place is crawling with mechanical nightmares.
It's a good thing Yang got everyone out when he did.
Yang. Not the pronunciation I was expecting. Door's locked. Look, there's people on the ground. Are you all right? You are. They look heavily wounded, but their lives aren't in immediate danger. What happened? A guy with a dagger and a girl with a giant puppet went inside. They activated. I imagined she was going to mention the central terminal, but how could someone from the outside know about that? Maybe the professor told them before they killed him. Well, we've got them cornered now. Now let's get inside. Time to put an end to this.
This looks like a stopping point.
How relaxing.
Bust up some socks.
The telescope's nowhere to be seen now.
That's the main terminal then?
That's right. It's also known as the Aurora, and it's the pride of Basel. Professors Hamilton and Callahan led the charge in making it 4 years ago with the Institute, Verne, the Epstein Foundation, and ZCF support. But what program is it running?
I can't make heads or tails of such complex code.
Look up there!
The 5th Genesis. Figures we'd find it here. Along with...
I suspected you would come, Arkwright Solutions.
Oh, that we would meet again so soon after the film festival. It must be Adios's will bringing us together. The threads of fate bind us ever so strongly indeed.
Can't say I'm not a fan of that kind of thing.
The monsters from the gardens who stole Ida from us!
Oh, you learned the name of my old home, did you? And I see that Marduk concierge has officially joined your ranks. Professor Hamilton's favorite little one, too. Aren't we getting popular?
This kid's just with us as an advisor.
So you're the ones who led Professor Callahan astray. What are you trying to do with the Aurora? You have no right to be using it.
Oh, how misunderstood I am. I'll have you know that the professor and I had quite a special connection. In fact, he gave us permission to use it. And since he was one of the developers, I think that does give us the right. This was very different from the relationship I had with President Dillon, by the way. It was more one of mutual benefit. Though I'll admit that certain inclinations of his did make my job a lot easier. A sensual whisper here, a little buttering up there, and he was more than ready to break every taboo I ever wanted.
How could you exploit someone so?
It's not our place to judge what turns someone on. That stuff's personal. But you're still a piece of shit with a parking spot reserved in Gehenna.
Right, and we'll be happy to give you a taste of the flames that await you right here. We're going to recover that Genesis and avenge those you've taken from this world.
Look at me, public enemy number one. Think you could lend me a shoulder to cry on, Olympia?
You are only reaping what you sowed. Of course, the terms of my contract also do not allow me to simply give you all what you want.
That angelic being we saw in Tharbad.
Theo!
Scanning material makeup. Unknown. High probability that the target is a form of artifact.
Thought so. It's about the only thing that explains how it can fight like it does. There's more to it than meets the eye, too.
Indeed. Take care, everyone. Your instincts serve you well. Incidentally, as I did not have the opportunity to introduce myself in Tharbad,
You had plenty of opportunities.
I am Olympia, overseer of the Garden of Aram. This is Ishtanti. Our contract is with Almada at this time, so we remain focused on their needs. But should you require our services after that, we would be happy to oblige.
You're asking if we want to hire an assassin?
This some kind of joke? Or are you really out of your damn mind?
I was only trying to promote my services.
It's true. She's not capable of joking, I'm afraid. As you can see, she's got work on the brain. Well, I think that's enough preamble. Been a good while, you know, since I tapped into my power as an overseer.
They're auras!
Of course they've been suppressing their power all this time.
We'll need to use shards however we can to survive. Do whatever it takes to hold out.
I can barely keep up with what's happening, but let's do this. Theo! Zeros! We can't allow these intruders to defile this sacred place a moment longer.
Understood.
Keep your guard up.
I'm Melchior of the Thorns. I'll be playing with you today.
Olympia of Aram, executing contract.
Let's party!
Keep it up! It's working!
Ready when you are.
Just for you. Here's our chance! I'll take care of them.
Oh, what's the matter?
There! Aaron!
Wow, these have so much HP.
Aren't you coming?
Keep it up! It's working!
Make it count! I'll crush them all at once! Blink and...
A chance! Activating drive.
Got a present for you.
One less of those things, please.
I'll take care of them.
Bye.
Get a chance to do anything about it, basically.
Stop right there!
Death awaits.
Stop right there!
I hope you like this. My move now.
Good luck!
Got a whole slew of them.
Suckers.
Show me what you got!
Got a whole slew of them.
Ready when you are.
Keep moving, Van! Stick!
Oh, I get it now.
So that is how it is.
I think I've grown a little.
Hey, not bad.
Is everyone all right? But Malak is even more deadly than we thought.
Pisses me off. You haven't been taking us seriously all this time, have you?
Oh, I showed Beauty's blade a little of what I'm capable of. Just not you.
Your strength is within my predicted parameters, including those orbital drones.
As if that doll wasn't bad enough. Now we've got those bomb artifacts to deal with too.
The Garden's overseers are capable of even more than we feared it would seem.
If only I could make better use of Theo and Zeros's potential.
You're just so much fun to play with that you've got me all worked up. I don't think I can resist the urge anymore. I know they've got the boss curious. Surely there's no harm in slicing them open while he's not looking.
I am not your boss and will not speak for him. Do as you please.
Bring it! You son of a bitch!
The flames of the Kruga have only just begun to burn. What?
Decoding process complete. Executing emergence program.
Where am I? I see. So it was a success.
That sounds like...
Well, would you look at that? It worked! So, how does it feel, Professor? What's it like living in the digital world?
It is even more comfortable than I had imagined. I'm frankly surprised by how comfortable it is. But I suppose it also makes complete logical sense. This is how it feels to be liberated of burdens and distractions. I can think more clearly than ever. The final stage of my work will be a breeze like this. Your expectations will be met.
Oh, that's my big professor. You will be handsomely rewarded for your work.
A recording? No, wait.
You are correct, young lady. This is no mere recording. I am the genuine David Callahan, Professor of Engineering Science at the Basel Institute of Science, and a researcher whose name will go down in history.
How the hell is this even possible?
We saw your body in the swamp.
No way. Don't tell me.
his knowledge, personality, and memories. have all been converted into an AI, most likely through the power of the Genesis. Also that he could surpass the limitations of the human mind and become a singularity.
Professor Callahan, how could...
Well, you're even more perceptive than I expected. What a vexatious little maid you are.
Must you be like this every time, Melchior? Our work here is done. We have no reason to stay any longer.
Fine. I suppose you're right. We'll see you later, Professor.
Very good, then. I will be waiting for you.
Warning! Explosives detected.
That little bastard.
The Aurora! Zeros, use your stun mode to stop...
No, you don't.
No!
Ketra, you can't!
Get back here! I won't let it happen. I won't let anyone damage the place she holds so dear.
He's definitely a robot.
Reset!
Shit!
Damn it!
There it is. I thought something was off about you, but I never figured it ran that deep. I wonder if this is what came out of analyzing that other emperor and the rest of those types.
I will need to revise my expectations of Marduk's capabilities.
And speak of the devil, I suppose it's time we made our exit then,
As someone connected to another being, not of flesh, you have my respect. Till we meet again.
Top dogs have arrived.
No way.
Reset!
This is all my fault.
You gonna be okay?
Yes. I think so.
Hold this one like immediately. As soon as we met her. She'll be back. She'll get a new body, or they'll transfer her robot brain into another Rosette, and she'll be fine. Top dogs couldn't afford a seat. Couldn't afford a seat and have to stand on deck during their trip. Yep. They arrived a little too late. Also, someone get that girl some WD-40. Gee, you're gonna need a little bit more than that. The entire city is locked down. Who could have seen this coming? What's gonna happen to us? Hope Anya's is okay. Ren too. All we can do is wait for them to get in touch. Alright, but what the heck is with that massive airship? It is a Marduk class, the X Alba airship series. Only being tested by Marduk. I say Vern and Aldra. Who's Aldra?
I apologize for our sudden arrival during the frenzied events of yesterday. To start this off, I am General Manager of Marduk Total Security Company, Gilliam Thorndike. This is our Chief of Security, Qasim Al-Fayed.
A pleasure to meet you all.
Al-Fayed is he, no doubt about it.
I was not expecting you to travel all the way to Basel, but it is an honor to meet you all the same. I've heard many a rumor about how shrewd a manager you are, Mr. Thorndike, together with your Chief of Security's combat exploits.
You make me blush, Your Highness.
I am humbled by your words.
I arrived in my home country a few days ago, so I'm afraid I'm not up to date on all the latest developments. But am I to understand that Marduk will be responsible for securing the city of Basel for the remainder of the day?
That is correct. Off the record, a presidential executive order was issued yesterday to that effect. A CID Special Ops unit will be arriving in the city this evening. Marduk's task will be to secure key facilities in Basel until they are ready.
Special Ops Unit. Ending in Hercules, huh? Wouldn't shock me if you belonged to him too, miss. Very astute.
We've also brought one of the X Alba series of airships that we're currently testing on behalf of the Republican Army. Said airship will allow us to ensure the integrity of the orbital network.
Which is how we're able to have this conversation, I suppose. Concierge isn't the only way you've gotten your hooks into Basel, I see.
Our goals on this particular occasion are simply to protect this city and its orbital network. Rest assured that much like your country, we have no intention of getting too deeply involved in Basel's affairs.
And yet you're here. And yet you're getting involved about as deep as you can go. As our stance as well, we're only doing what we consider necessary. Very well, I will take your word on that. For now, quelling the chaos unfolding before us clearly does come first. However, given our stake in Vern and connection to the Institute, this current state of affairs is a grave concern to us. We have a lot to answer for here as CEO, Mr. Townsend. Please, if I may defend myself, I never could have seen this coming.
There is some merit to that argument, but it also leaves out a number of key facts. You are to see that shareholders' Mira is used to generate a profit, and yet you covered up a huge potential problem for over a month. We confirmed last night that it wasn't just Almada's money being used for ill. Elsime's investments were also misappropriated.
Why is Ren here?
And if these are the result of you turning a blind eye to Professor Callahan's behavior all this time...
You keep your mouth shut! Just who do you think you are? Who gave you the right to speak? I don't care if you are Student Council President at Aramis. This is none of your...
I am here as a special advisor for Liberal's ZCF. I also serve as a negotiator representing the Epstein Foundation.
Okay. And?
In other words, I'm here to speak up against anything that threatens their interests, which this has. Now, do I have the right to speak?
No. What does the Epstein Foundation have to do with the Vern Company? Absolutely nothing. Don't they have a little corner office in the cut of town or something like that? They got kicked out. Ain't nobody care about them. This is a corporate business. And you just revealed that you're part of a rival corporation? And you think you just barge in here and start spouting a bunch of nonsense? Get out of here, Ren. Now that's a dramatic twist, straight out of a play. Heard rumors swirling about you, but I never expected you to show up here. Still, she's right. We aren't the only shareholder that will be concerned about this. Other related companies will be as well. But we don't need me to spell out exactly what kind of situation you're in here.
When will you grow a damn spine? The danger here isn't over. Anyone can see that. And you still intend to do nothing after what happened to Callahan? Professor Hamilton left you in charge of Vern, of Basel. Don't you feel any shame?
In any event, we now have half a day before the cogs start turning again. Even if we do nothing, the Calvardian government will see to it that matters are resolved. But knowing how egregiously my country's funds have been misused, I refuse to stand by and do nothing. So, Arkwright Solutions. Might I enlist your services for the remainder of the day?
No. We solved the issue. You don't have to pay us quintuple the amount for what you're asking for here.
Of course, you can approach the task in whatever way best suits you, just as you did in Tharbad and have done many times before. My only true wish is that you put a stop to Almada's plans before they can bear fruit. Does this sound doable?
Whatever Almada's doing has nothing to do with us, dog. We have our own plan. We're just a fixer, okay? They're asking us to do world-changing stuff.
We'll be well compensated for this, I trust?
Yet to be well compensated for a dang thing in this game.
Qasim, why?
I just have to make that known every single time.
It's been some time, Farida.
Suspected you two were related. They only have the same last name. You know? Your brother, right? Never expected him to be one of Marduk's hunting dogs.
I hear you've been taking good care of my sister, Arkwright Solutions. As for you, Van, it's been 2 years, I believe? I understand you've greatly improved your use of the stun caliber and your martial arts. Reset mentioned as much. As your former instructor, that fills me with great pride.
I try. Still not as hot with the tactics stuff you taught me, though. Heard all kinds of stories about you, too, but I never expected our first meeting to be like this.
In that, we are agreed. Still, while we might be providing our services and your weapon, I believe the contract between us to be an equal one. I hope that we can continue our fine partnership, Mr. Arkwright.
Good body. Yeah, let's not get too friendly. I'm not interested in becoming any more than just a contractor to you. Since we're here, there's one thing I want to ask. Just how long has she been like that?
Information on our concierge is classified, I'm afraid. However, if an approximate time frame will suffice, I suppose I can oblige. About a year ago.
Something seemed off about her all this time. We first started talking 3 years ago, but the first time we actually met was just in Tharbad. Even when I visited Orad for lessons on tactics, she was conveniently unavailable. It sounds like. Does that mean?
Still, I know she's in good hands with Associate Professor Archett. I also happen to bring some compatible parts that she can use. Though I regret that Ms. Twinings will not be able to provide you with any more of her services for the time being.
Good thing I wasn't using her for this chapter. I ain't got nothing to apologize for. I doubt any amount of workers' comp I could give her would make up for forcing her to do something that crazy. Well, hold on a second. She did that by herself. But either way, that's my problem to deal with, not yours.
Well, I apologize for meddling in your affairs then. With that said, we must take our leave. We've negotiations with the Republican Army to attend to.
I feel like I've seen Kasim's general look before. Like his shirt just reminds me of something from another Trails game.
As I mentioned during the conference, we've no intention of interfering in this crisis any more than is necessary. Fascinated though I am by what a genius can achieve through an obsession that knows no bounds.
Kasim, wait!
There are a number of matters Abi and I disagree on. Whether you are suited to being a warrior is very much one of them. Still, I can only assume it was the guidance of the flames and Arusha that led you here. Battle is almost upon us, and I will be watching to see how you fare through it.
Fairy.
As much as I'd love to write him off as an arrogant asshole, I can't get enough of a read on him. Just how tough is he?
I'd say he's one of the strongest Jaegers who ever lived.
Wait till you meet Bloody Shirley. Conversation is over then. And where are the others? They're still here. There was talk of them returning to the capital, but that's not going to be possible now with the whole area on lockdown. Roads and railways, even the airspace around Edith is sanctioned off. Not like that comes as any surprise after what happened. What do you mean? What happened now? There was an explosion in Anchorville City. There were no casualties, fortunately, but we suspect that Almada might have been involved. Anchorville's a decent-sized city north of the capital, right? Yeah, that must have been just a diversion, while this is their real target. Oh, I think that's almost certain. However, given its proximity to the capital, we can't afford to take it lightly. Both the CID and the Guild are being pushed to their limits right now. We won't be able to give you any backup. That's fine, we weren't expecting any to begin with. But you can at least share whatever info you manage to gather, Shirley. That goes for stuff from ZCF and the Foundation, too. Sounds fair to me, insofar as our interests align, of course. I'll also do what I can. Just take care of Anya's for me and return, please. Thank you, Ren. Here the initial work is done on your concierge, too. That's Professor Hamilton's family for you. Geniuses to the last. Oh, thanks for telling us. That's so good to hear. She was being seen in Associate Professor Esmeray's room, wasn't she? Go say hi then. Oh no. That time got guest Joy Zelek.
Hello there.
I hope everything went well.
Thanks. Sounds like you pulled an all-nighter, huh?
Looks like Zeros is up and running again. Fortunately for us, the damage for him wasn't so bad. I just wish I could say the same about Rosette. Putting her back to the way she was is going to take a while.
Please, don't be so downhearted. The first-rate care you've been giving me has stabilized my vitals a considerable amount.
I'm relieved to hear that.
Have you spoken to Mr. Thorndyke?
Did before coming here, yeah. He's as much of a questionable character as I was expecting. Their chief of security is the same old standoffish grump, too. You'd think it'd kill him to put on a smile.
That's just how they are, I'm afraid.
It's fine, you know. You don't need to force yourself to speak.
For what it's worth, her life isn't in any danger here. The artificial limbs that Mr. Thorndyke brought with him are compatible with her, too. That's not to say you shouldn't take it easy. Anything that involves the nervous system is a heavy burden on the body. The best thing you can do for yourself right now is get lots and lots of rest.
I will. Thank you. Though, I truly am sorry for not being able to support you all when you need it most.
Don't sweat it. We can take things from here. You just kick back and relax. Next time you wake up, you can bet we'll have good news to share. And a hell of a big bonus, too.
I'll have to look forward to that then, won't I? Follow your hearts and act as you always do. And everything will be fine.
Sorry, but I'd like to ask you something. Why? Why did you risk your life to save mine? No one should have to put themselves through something like this over someone like me.
It was because you were just so dazzlingly radiant in that moment, I suppose.
What?
You have so many people who care about you, and you care about them just as much in return. To someone who's lost her bonds, memories, and even body, the sight was almost blinding. I'm a little jealous of all you have, if I'm to tell the truth. So please, treat yourself like an irreplaceable treasure. Not just for you, but for those who love you too.
This is all JRPG talk for you have a robotic body, you have a fleshy body. It's better that a few, that I get blown up than you get blown up. About Rosette. Just how much of her is artificial anyways? I don't know for sure, but my guess is a lot. You were indirectly involved in making her who she is too, right? That's right, we assisted Marduk in researching artificial biological limbs some time ago. Our partnership only produced a prototype though. I never imagined they would actually start using that technology like this. Rosette was clearly the result of multiple different technologies being used together, not just the one they developed with us. I've heard this is also a field that the Institute of Technology over in the Empire has been looking into. Ben, you seem like you've known the truth for a while. Couldn't be sure, but I had a feeling. Oh, it was clear as plain as day. I could tell the image I was seeing during our video calls was artificially generated. So it took me really off guard when she just showed up in person in Tharbad. It was only when I noticed that she moved faster and kind of different from normal people that I started putting two and two together. That's also kind of funny. It's just a scenario of like, you know what? This person is moving faster and a little bit different than just the generic people of the world. She must be a robot. Makes sense. I did feel like there was something strange about her, but I never would have imagined it was because of this. She's capable of far greater power and speed than an ordinary human, but also has less precise control over her body in exchange. I can't imagine just how much effort she must have put in to be able to move as naturally as she does. She'll be able to return to the way she was, won't she? I'm sure she will, right, Professor? I think there's every chance of that. The technology involved seems to be fairly well established by Marduk at this point. It won't be easy to make all the precise adjustments after reattaching her limbs, but I'll make sure it happens. We're counting on you. She might be on loan to us from Marduk, but she's as much a member of Arkwright Solutions as the rest of us. Anyway, time for us to get out of here. Right, we need to do what we can and put Rosette at ease.
Wait! Please. If it's not too much to ask, could I keep helping you?
That is a lot to ask, right? We don't need any more children in our group.
I want to stop Professor Callahan and the devils who've done this to him by my own hand. No matter what it takes.
You can go off on your own then.
Oh, Katra.
Sorry, but no can do.
Let's go, Van.
I suppose that's the right decision after I landed Rosette in a hospital bed. I wasn't able to use Fio and Zeros at even half of their potential, either. If all I'm gonna be is a burden to the team...
That ain't what I'm saying. You're no burden. We're gonna need you and your engineering know-how here for sure. But we're also not a charity. We only do favors for people if the client and price are a good fit. You heard what Rosette said, right? If you did, then you should know what you gotta do. And where you went wrong.
You're right. I should never have done something that would upset the people who care about me. And I never will again. I just want to stop the chaos unfolding in Basel and the misuse of technology that created it. And if I'm gonna do that, it's not the help of the police or guild I need. It's you. As compensation, I can offer you my skills and expertise on technology. I can also give you my word that I'll help Essie put Rosette back to the way she was as fast as possible. Is that enough to make me a good fit for you?
It sure is. We'd be happy to take that 4 SPG on. We'll be counting on you now. Couldn't ask for better than a student of Professor Hamilton's.
Thank you. I won't let you down.
Promise me you'll take good care of him, okay? I'll be working around the clock too. Promise. Thank you so much. Time to get down to business.
CID's special ops unit is going to be here this evening. That means we've only got half a day left to do what we want. Since they're here, or once they're here, we're done. Gotta make this time count. Sure felt to me like Almada's work was done after making that AI a success. Sure they didn't just bounce. No, I'm certain they're still in the region. The abnormalities in the orbital net and distribution network are less pronounced than yesterday, but they're still present. Something's still happening, I'm sure of it. Really. And Almada's research is still going on somewhere in the city. That's what we just said. Rosette mentioned something earlier that I think will help me.
This might be fundamentally different to what happened in Crossbell, but I still think that is our closest reference point. The orbital network and septium veins were used in the development of highly advanced technology then as well. Basel City also has both, making it the perfect environment to finish what they started.
The orbital network and the septium veins at their disposal, they have access to effectively unlimited resources for their research. Professor Callahan has reached the heights of that, If Professor Callahan has reached the heights that the Singularity and Crossbell did, then our foes are probably lurking somewhere in the region finishing what they started. It's still a very large area to try and find them in, though. We'll have to find some way to narrow our search down. And get close enough to their location the Genesis might react and show us we're on the right track, too. Using the darn thing like a metal detector, huh? I suppose we gotta try something, or try anything we can at this point. Let's see if there are any more 4 SPGs to take care of while we start asking around. No telling where we might find a clue that'll lead us to the truth. I'll help however I can. Wait, should I not be meddling in your other jobs now that I'm a client instead of a guide? Don't be silly, you're one of us now. You are our client, but how about we just treat you more like a temp for now? Oh, okay, that works for me. We're happy to have you with us, even if it means the kid-to-adult ratio's evened out here. Well then, let's get to work. I want to stop by the Guild Vern Giscard's workshop. Should probably talk to our resident genius professor too. Those sound like good places to start to me.
Not this way.
We have a B authentication card. That would be enough. And it couldn't be Rosette wanting the spotlight for her sacrificing herself, because she's been stealing the spotlight for everything. She always comes up with information just out of nowhere. All that stuff. What you reading? Oh man. Just out in public too? Like, dang man. The cover is the same? Cover's different. Good. Boy. Gotta enjoy the moment. Yeah, the whole city is attacked by archaism. And the next thing this guy does is like, alright, I can sit down on my bench and look at this swimsuit magazine. It's finally time. The atmosphere is now perfect. It's crazy. Oh, there he is. I'm glad we didn't have to go on a wild goose chase to find you today. Ah, if it isn't the Spriggan, you look like you have something more to discuss with me. Darn right we do, sucker. I imagine you're already privy to the situation, so we don't need to bring you up to speed. Right now, we're trying to get everything under control ourselves before the government intervenes any further. So that's why we wanted to ask you, that's why we wanted to ask you about me. What exactly do I have to do with all of this? I will admit, my curiosity is piqued by the developments here. Marduk is an interesting wrinkle in the story, as are Professor Callahan's, shall we say, inadvisable efforts. I do plan to stay and watch how this all pans out, but as I said yesterday, can you at least let me finish before dismissing me? I've had to face a lot of hard truths over the past few days. I've been made to realize just how lacking I am and how much I still have to learn. I know that it's impossible to rectify all of that overnight. There are still things I want to protect no matter the cost. All I want is for your feedback on a hypothesis of mine. I won't ask you for any more of your help than that. Go on. Professor Callahan all but lives on the network now. But that goal of his contradicts the actions he took. One thing doesn't add up to me. Why did he simply let the Mafia destroy the Aurora? Good question. I agree, that is an obvious contradiction. If they intend to use weapons of mass destruction, they must figure out how to invent and produce them. They simply don't exist yet. Professor Callahan's AI only solves one part of the problem. With the functional blueprints, or even with the functional blueprints, there are no means to produce them. The AI is essential in their research efforts. It holds more computational power than any other machine in Basel. And if they no longer have it, that begs another question. How will they produce these nuclear weapons without the means to invent them? An astute observation. Can't say no, can you? Something tells me you wanted to help him out all along in spite of your crotchety old man act. I am simply giving him the feedback he requested. It will be up to him to prove his theory, though judging from what I've heard so far, he'll find the answers soon enough. Dang. You are correct. People do not grow and change overnight, but having watched you, I can see how you've matured over the years. Look forward to seeing how you grow into a well-rounded scientist, just as Professor Hamilton did. Thank you, I will. He really is like a brother to you, huh? More helpful than he wants to admit. Curious where he's going after he leaves Basel, but I guess that ain't my business. I agree, and besides, it's not our place to tell him how to live his life. We need to focus on our own work right now. You're right. Oh, it's like, what? Move me out of the way. I was like, God.
Ridiculous.
What you doing, sucker? Give it another look. Comb it real thorough this time. Yes, Chief. Speaking of Mr. JRPG, I saw you beat 2 games in a row. And that second game looked very much not like an RPG. I don't know how you're gonna justify that flight simulator. Might as well just turn your stream to the Grand Simulation or challenge, or the Great Simulation Challenge. The Great RPG, or the Great SNES Simulation Challenge. There we go. Yeah, it wasn't. Some sites label it an RPG and was short enough to at least poke around at. Yeah, I mean, you finished it in like 2.5 hours, so there's that. Something wrong. Anything we can help with? I wish it was that simple, but nope, ain't nothing you folks can help with. Guess it wouldn't hurt to fill you in, though. What parts for that weapon prototype went missing? Yep, we found it out when we were looking into Callahan's disappearance. Most of the parts are still here. It's not like the whole thing up and vanished. But there are little bits and pieces of our inventory missing. Our order sheets don't add up, and we haven't been able to find the missing parts anywhere. Not just a few of them either. We're missing huge chunks of inventory. Too much stuff to count. Well, that's a bit alarming. You're talking about that weapon you showed us earlier, right? Yeah, that definitely ain't good, and you're right. I don't know how we could help with that. Smells like an inside job to me. No way the world-famous Giscard workshop just loses track of inventory like that. Darn straight. A lot of us here know about the weapon, but it's still a highly confidential project. We've taken extra steps to make sure nothing gets out. Except for, leaving the door open and letting people walk by and look at it, and letting us walk inside and get a closer look at it. And of all the times this had to happen right after I went and mouthed off to Towsend. Shameful, I tell you. You ordered parts online, didn't you? I remember you showing me how that system worked. Do you think this inventory shortfall might be related to the network problems this city's been having? Our youngsters suggested the same thing. Not entirely off the table, no. I just like to think we were being more careful than that. How could we not be, given everything going on? That's understandable, yeah. I'd find it hard to believe it was just an accident with how careful everyone's been. This feels premeditated. Yeah, with all the weird stuff going on, it's hard to chalk anything up to coincidence right now. There's just so much going on. We'll have to keep an eye out for any leads about your parts, though. Thanks, man. I'm sorry, folks. You've got enough on your plate without us and our stupid supply hiccups. We're still trying to find Callahan, but we haven't got any good leads yet. Our best guess is that he's somewhere off the beaten path. Might have holed himself up somewhere on purpose, even. does sound like a good guess. Well, if you learn anything, let us know. Your curation is basically non-existent. The internet calls it an RPG. You'll take a look at it. You have Zelda and Zelda clones on the list. That's fair. Well, sounds like you're being consistent over it, so that is that. What are you looking at? Most of the non-RPGs just also happen to be 5 to 10 hours anyhow. That's also a good thing, is you don't have to waste a ton of time figuring it out. And then once you figure it out, it's like, well, you know, there's only one more stream or whatever, so you know, might as well just finish it. You couldn't have timed your arrival better. Friend, we weren't expecting to find you here. You want something from us? The opposite. I have something for you. A little piece of intel. Do you have to go blabbing to them about it? Hey, don't spoil her fun, Killjoy. Ladies don't like a sucker fool. Excuse me? Alright, boys, simmer down. Now's not the time for mouth to mouth. You know, we keep getting told now's not the time for, you know, these excellent jabs at one another. When is the time? Okay? When can we have the mouthing off contest? What's this info about? To the surprise of no one, Almada was behind the explosion in Anchorville. How do you know that? Give me your evidence. Sounds like it's a mess out there right now after word got out that Almada had corporate help. Yeah, a lot of high-ranking bracers are stuck there right now trying to sort everything out. Honestly, I'd really rather be out there right now, but we're tied up here. Yeah, after yesterday, we're not leaving anytime soon. Indeed, I'm still positive that the attack in Anchorville was just a diversion. Basel has to be their main target. In fact, we know a little more about the agents who unleashed the archaisms in the city yesterday. I strongly believe it was the same duo you met in Longport. Them again. Viola and Alexandre. They caused a ton of trouble back in Longport too. That's certainly not good. That said, we shouldn't have to worry about them here now that Marduk is in town. How many men have they got? We talking just one area or the whole city? They have enough people on the ground to rival a large Jaeger Corps, and with vastly better equipment. Their chief of security in particular, he's a real force of nature. Of course, I imagine you all know that pretty well already. Seen. Yep, Gramps here described him as one of the strongest Jaegers to walk the earth. It's funny, guy's got this baby face. He doesn't even look 30, but he gives off this vibe like he could kick your butt into next week. At any rate, this city's in good hands with him patrolling around. Still gotta figure out what Almada's plotting next, though. Speaking of, you confirmed those two you encountered yesterday were connected to the Gardens, correct? Yeah, they said they were overseers. That checks out. They've got 4 units, and an overseer in charge of each one. 2 of them seem to be connected to Almada differently, though. Melchior is both an overseer and a high-ranking executive in Almada, but his cohort said that she was only a contractor. Talk about complicated. I wonder what the story is there. Or something. We're not much wiser than you guys there, unfortunately. What we do know is that the most monstrous mafia and the most vile assassins to ever live have joined hands. Okay, hold on. The most monstrous mafia? Get out of here. And that ain't good. Indeed, after we have Basel taken care of, we'll need to devise a strategy for dealing with them. Can we also, like, there's also an issue here, and it's that they've described Almada as a mafia, and this mafia has not done a mafia-like thing at all. they've been engaging in like supernatural stuff. And, you know, when are they gonna shake someone down for money? Or, you know, start up like a Ponzi scheme or a gambling ring or something like that, or something. It's just really weird. Have you managed to learn anything more about what Almada's up to here? Fortunately not. If anything, we were hoping you might have a lead on where Professor Callahan might be. I wish I did, but I'm not too familiar with the geography of this area. I tried to see if I could find anything on the net, but they covered their tracks, unfortunately. Sorry for coming up empty-handed. Don't worry about it. It really wasn't going to be that easy. Aside from that, my only other advice is to keep the septium veins in mind. They're more relevant than you might think. The septium veins. I recall Rosette mentioning those recently, actually. They do have a tendency to affect the orbital network in particular. At first glance, they appear unrelated. We had no way to prove they were at all related. Well, a certain phenomenon in Crossbell demonstrated that the two can affect each other under the right conditions. This incident here is eerily reminiscent of what happened 1.5 years ago. It's just my hunch, though. Well, that does make a lot of sense. Yeah, thanks for the pointer. Well, we're just gonna get back to tracking down Callahan. What are you three up to? We'll be doing the rounds to keep the city under control. We can't leave it all to Marduk. Yeah, they're good, don't get me wrong, but they're even shadier than you guys are. I don't trust them. I'll be helping out too until there's some other development that demands my attention. I need to keep an eye on the other students as well. We're all waiting here for you, Agnes. Odette and Albert too. Don't forget that, okay? I won't. Please be careful, Ren. Well, we've got a lot of info to work with now. Yeah, but I can't wrap my head around how it all fits together. Me talking it out will help. Is there a place we can chat in private? You can always head back to the inn. Actually, how about y'all come to my place? You don't have to worry about people listening in there. Oh no, we couldn't impose on you like that. Really don't mind, and neither would Gran, Professor Hamilton. It's her house, but I'm the only one who lives there right now. Cool, we'll take you up on your offer. Kinda curious to see the home of one of Epstein's 3 disciples. Oh, I wouldn't expect too much. It's just a normal family home. Anyway, we can head over whenever you'd like. Let's save and mark.